Hello everyone and welcome back. My name is Samuel Sihaan and today I'm presenting my second video journal for the SMP program 2026. This session is titled Web Security Fundamentals and Advanced Attacks. As the web ecosystem evolves, understanding both server-side mechanism and client-side vulnerabilities is paramount for cybersecurity practitioners. Today, over the course of about 9 minutes, we will navigate through 8 essential pillars of web security. The first one is web server architecture and basics. Second is HTTP protocol methods, headers, and user agents. The third one is SSL or TLS encryption and HTTPS overview. Fourth, client-side authentication and security. The fifth is the OWASP Top 10 and server-side request forgery or SSRF. The sixth is path traversal attacks and filter bypasses. The seventh is client-side exploit or cross-site scripting or XSS and cross-site request forgery or CSRF. And finally, our defense in-depth summary and mitigation best practice. So let's jump right in. Let's begin with topic one, web server architecture and execution. At the foundational level, web services operate on a client-server paradigm. When a user requests a web page, the web server, such as Nginx or Apache, acts as the gatekeeper. It processes incoming requests, evaluates back-end business logic, and serves content back to the client. It's critical to distinguish between server-side execution and client-side rendering. On the server side, language like PHP, Python, and Ruby execute logic directly on the server host. They perform database management, handle authentication, and construct dynamic HTML payloads. Because this code runs in a server environment, sensitive keys and database credentials must remain strictly protected on the backend. On the client side, the user's web browser receives HTML, CSS, and client-side JavaScript, rendering the inter- interactive user interface locally. So understanding where code executes is the first step in identifying where vulnerabilities can be introduced. Moving on topic number two, HTTP methods, headers, and the user agent. Hypertext Transfer Protocol or HTTP is the foundational protocol of the web. As security analysts, we must understand how data travels within HTTP requests. The two most fundamental HTTP request methods are GET and POST. In GET method, request parameters are appended directly to the URL as a query string form. Because of parameter resides in the URL, they are visible in browser history, proxy logs, and server logs. Therefore, GET should never be used to transmit sensitive data like passwords. In the POST method, parameters are encapsulated securely inside the HTTP request body. This conceals the parameters from the URL bar and provides a much safer mechanism for submitting forms and processing credentials. Additionally, every HTTP request includes headers such as the user agent. The user agent header identifies the client browser, operating system, and hardware architecture to the server. Security researchers often analyze or manipulating user agent strings during web scraping, penetration testing, or threat investigation. Finally, understanding HTTP status code is vital for diagnosing web behavior. 200 OK indicates success, 302 found handles redirects, 403 forbidden signifies access control denial, 404 not found indicates a missing resource, and 500 internal server error points to an unhandled application failure. Now, let's examine topic number 3, SSL or TLS overview and HTTPS. Standard HTTP transmit data in plain text. rendering it vulnerable to sniffing, packet injection, and man-in-the-middle. HTTPS or HTTP Secure solve this by encrypting HTTP traffic using TLS or Transport Layer Security, formerly known as SSL. During an HTTP TLS handshake, the client and server negotiate cryptographic parameters using asymmetric public key cryptography. The web server presents a digital verif- certified verified by a trusted certi- certificate authority or C8 to prove its identity. Once authenticated, the parties establish symmetric session key to encrypt all subsequent communication. This guarantees three core secure properties: confidentiality, preventing eavesdropping; integrity, preventing package tampering; and authentication, verifying server identity. Next topic is number 4, client-side security and authentication. Because HTTP is a stateless protocol, web applications rely on session cookies or tokens to maintain user state across requests. To protect session cookies from compromise, developer must enforce strictly security flags. The HTTP-only flag prevents client-side JavaScript from reading the cookie value, neutralizing cookie theft via cross-site scripting. The secure flag ensures the cookies is transmitted exclusively over encrypted HTTPS connection. The same side flag controls whether cookies are sent with cross-site requests, providing crucial defense against CSRF attacks. In web security, we also strictly separate authentication from authorization. Authentication verifies identity answering "Who are you?" via credentials or biometric checks. Authorization determines permissions answering "What resource are you permitted to access?" Underpinning all client security is the browser's same origin policy or SOP, which isolate content from different origins unless explicitly permitted by cross-origin resource sharing or CORS configuration. Moving on to topic 5, OWASP Top 10 and Server-Side Request Forgery or SSRF. The OWASP Top 10 is the benchmark awareness document for web application security. In the 2021 update, categories were updated to reflect modern threat landscape, with the broken access control A01 rising to the number 1 in the threat position. A major addition in the double OWASP 2021 update was A10, Server-Side Request Forgery or SSRF. An SSRF vulnerability occurs when a web application fetches a remote resource based on a user-supplied URL without proper validation. An attacker can manipulate this URL parameter to force the server to issue requests to internal network or loopback addresses. The impact of SSRF can be devastating. Attackers can bypass firewall restriction, can internal scan internal networks, and access sensitive cloud metadata endpoints such as AWS metadata, leading to full cloud infrastructure compromise. So let's explore topic number six, path traversal and filter bypasses. A path traversal or directory traversal is an attack that occurs when applications use user input to construct file paths without sufficient sanitation by supplying ../sequence. An attacker can step out of the web root folder and read arbitrary files from the operating system, such as /etc password or on Linux or cwindows/win.ini on Windows. When basic security filters attempt to block raw sequence, attackers often employ the URL encoding bypasses. For instance, replacing a forward slash with its URL encoded equivalent, or using double encoding like %252f allows the payload to slip past naive filter rules. Once the web server decodes the parameter internally, the malicious traversal executes successfully. To mitigate path traversal, application must avoid passing user input directly into file system APIs. Instead, use strict hardcore whitelists, generating indirect file indexes, and resolve canonical path using path normalization function like real path. Okay, let's examine the topic number 7, client-side attacks, XSS and CSRF. Cross-site scripting or XSS occurs when untrusted user input is rendered in victim's browser without proper context-aware encoding. In stored XSS, the malicious payload is saved permanently in database like a comment field. In reflected XSS, the payload is reflected of the web server in the immediate HTTP response. Successful XSS allows attackers to hijack user session, steal cookies, and manipulate DOM elements. XSS is prevented via contextual output encoding and enforcing strict content security policy or CSP. On the other hand, cross-site request forgery or CSRF tricks an authenticated victims into executing unwanted action on a trusted web application. Because browsers automatically attach session cookies to cross-site requests, an attacker can host malicious site that silently submit state changing post requests on behalf of the victim. CSRF is mitigated using anti-CSRF tokens, unique unpredictable tokens validate on the server and setting cookies attribute to same site string. So, to bring everything together in our defense in-depth summary, effective web security requires a multi-layer defensive model. The first one, enforce strict input validation and contextual output encoding on all parameters. The second one is implement a robust session security using HTTPS, HTTP only, secure, and same site flags alongside the anti-CSRF tokens. Adhere strictly to the principle of least privilege and conduct regular audits against the OWASP Top 10. So, thank you very much for your time and attention. My name is Samuel Siang, and I hope this video journal gives you a clear and true understanding of web security. Feel free to connect if you have any question. See you in the next journal.